Do the Chris D'Elia story. Of course, have you seen the actual documentary, the Chris D'Elia?
No, I have not. I actually have that on my watch list now.
You have watched our coverage of it.
Yes.
It's pretty thorough. We're making jokes and being funny and silly and whatever, but it's a pretty good synopsis of what the documentary's about. This guy, Kyle, did a very good job talking to the people who have been accusing Chris D'Elia of basically trying to run a sex cult, making these women get tattoos and shit like that. Chris D'Elia decided that he would show that he's contrite. Now, remember, he made a big apology about a year or two. No, not two. You're right. Close to about a year ago. He made this big apology about how I'm better and I was texting inappropriate with people. Here's how you know he was full of shit. One, his mouth was moving. But at the time, you knew he was full of shit because he was only apologizing for the stuff we heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if you're actually contrite and you apologize, you go, look, here's everything I did, and I'm really sorry for it. He only apologized for the shit that was public. All the other stuff has come out since then, plus we find out he never stopped.
Yeah, that's kind of walking back your apology when you're like, hey, I want to apologize for this thing that I'm going to go do when I'm done here.
Yeah, as soon as I hit the stop button, I'm going to go text my harem girls. And we're gonna keep it going.
Look, this isn't cool, and I don't support it. But as soon as we're done recording, I will continue.
Did he maybe treat it like Catholics treat confession? Like, oh, I said I'm sorry, so that washes the previous sins. Now I got to go commit my new ones. Well, don't worry, Johnny. Chris D'Elia is feeling a little heat from the Chris D'Elia problem, but instead of actually changing or turning himself into police or talking to these women so he can help them through what he's done to them.
Mm-hmm.
He's now putting his wife on his podcast and talking about how he's in rehab. Not in rehab. He went to rehab for a month. So, guys, it's fine.
Why don't you just do a show called I'm Guilty? Right. And I don't really care. I'm guilty.
Rehab Chronicles 293. Congratulations, the Chris D'Elia podcast. Yeah, this is the... reveals he's been in rehab over new allegation. Let's take Unique's clip, and then I want Too Lazy to Try. His video is pretty good as well.
Oh, I saw a clip on there. It's like 1 year of sobriety, and I'm like, do you want to say that?
Chris D'Elia desperately tries to save his career. All right, let's do Unique's video. And by the way, subscribe to Unique. He's got some good gossip shit on his channel. Let's see. Does he play? Oh, he doesn't play the clip at all? All right, fuck it. We'll do Too Lazy. All right, subscribe to Too Lazy to Try. He does a great job, too.
That's like, should we stop talking? He's like, no, I don't care.
When he posted the apology video, I remember watching it and being so lost because I thought at the time, does this mean he is ending things with all his girlfriends? And I wrote him about it and I asked him, like, is this enabling to you? Do you want it to be the kind of thing where we back off and, this is where it ends? And he told me point blank, I don't want anything to change.
Right. This is right after the apology video. So these women saw the apology video and they're like, hey, do you want me to back the fuck off? Do you want me to get... No, nothing changes.
Hey, so I saw that apology video, and I'm, one of the people you were talking about, so should we probably just call it quits? No, I already apologized. We're good.
Yeah, I cleansed my soul. I'm totally fine. So Too Lazy to Try also grabbed a clip. For a guy named Too Lazy to Try, he sure does work hard for people. He's a good guy. So Too Lazy to Try. Lemmy, if you could put a link to his channel up in the chat so people can
weird,
subscribe.
Too lazy to try, and he's putting in all the effort. Hard-working man, can't get up on time to save his life.
So Chris D'Elia also shows, well, I've been in rehab for a month for like anger and emotion control. It's like, dude, that's not what you were accused of. You weren't accused of, like Chris D'Elia, he's a prick. You're a sex pest.
Yeah, dude, if you're going to be like, I was in rehab for, manipulation and sexual grooming. Like
that would be
more accurate.
Sexual manipulation, guilting people, sociopathic behavior. Those are good things that you should go to rehab or counseling for.
Me and my friend Andrew Tate.
Oh man, there's some accusations coming out about Tate now. Anyone who's a fan of his will just say, well, it's only because they're trying to get him.
It's the Matrix.
Your boy is not that important. He's got a couple tens of thousands of young kids who will eventually grow out of the bullshit he's throwing out there anyway.
He's literally just selling you guys a fake product that you all want.
Yeah.
And I don't think you guys realize most of his facade that he's selling you is fake.
Right. And he's also selling you something that he's also selling you this idea that he's being picked on and targeted by the Matrix, and you buy that too and you fuel it for him. Don't get me wrong, he's smart. His followers are dumb. That's the difference. But that's how it is with all those cults. So here's Chris D'Elia. Remember, he's accused of contacting all these young girls.
Okay.
Telling them to get on all fours, take pictures for him, all kinds of dirty, devious shit. Then he gets caught. Then he pretends that he's this family guy. Oh, I love being faithful. He had social media posts about how much he loves being faithful to his wife. The women in this documentary said immediately after he was releasing these pictures, he was texting me about how fucking hot I am and what he wants to do to me.
And, I love being faithful. Well, it's about time you started.
Yeah. So people have been asking, like, what's his wife's role in all this? Like, is she like a Camille Cosby where she's kind of okay with it seemingly and doesn't give a shit and knows it's happening? Is she in on the lie, or does she just believe this fucking crazy person that she's with? Or is she just married to a millionaire and has a kid with him and wants to stay on the gravy train?
I think that's the most likely one, because I can't see how you are with someone, you don't notice this, and then this stuff comes out and you don't at least start putting together like, okay, this might explain some things. I've been like, well, what's that about?
Yeah. So now this is him talking to his wife, and to look at how gross and manipulative and deceitful this is. And I don't know why he put this up there like it was a good thing. He talks to his wife about his taste in women. Now, Johnny, what was it about his taste in women that people were grossed out by at first?
The age?
The age.
He liked them a little green.
Yeah. So watch this clip with his wife. And this is where I kind of agree with you, where his wife might be in on it with him. Because watch how she also helps to run cover for her man.
Just thought this would like make him look good or something. I don't know. These two are just so out of it.
I don't know who mine is.
Out of your league, firstly. Let's just say that right now. Like,
She's very pretty.
yeah, I'm betting she came aboard before the first derailing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, the whole setup here is they're talking about hall passes, and they're trying to guess who each other's hall pass is.
Dude, no. Why are you doing that? Chris, don't fucking talk about hall passes.
Yeah, right, exactly. The guy, he doesn't need a hall pass. He's already been hall passing on you for years now. So
we've been caught with truancy, my friend. Just stop.
you've been fucking your fans for a long time, allegedly. So she's going to ask him about his hall pass, and watch this turn into Chris D'Elia PR minute.
I don't know who mine is.
Jessica Chastain?
She's great. Yeah, she's great.
You know, Jessica Chastain's in her 40s.
Mm-hmm.
That's clearly his taste. He's Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, because, you know.
Get it? She's older.
He loves the Cougars.
Oh, yeah, he likes the older broads. Why would you put this? He's putting his wife out on his podcast after the allegations resurfaced with this documentary now. A clear attempt to look like the Family Guy. This is a manipulative, gross piece of shit. Putting the wife on there to deflect that you're some kind of a sex pest. And then every word out of your mouth is damage control. Every word out of your mouth is PR spin. I don't mind if people do that and admit it. If they go, look, to show you I'm getting better, to show you I'm recovering this and that, here's some things I want to talk to you about. But if you're just doing it to kind of make people forget what's going on over here. Look at how many old bitches I like. This motherfucker would dig up B. Arthur's corpse and fuck it if he thought it would be a get out of controversy free card.
Look, I realized what I did was wrong, and now I prefer my vagina with a nice layer of dust on it.
Oh, guys, I want to apologize for my newest sex scandal. Oh my God, Chris D'Elia is finally going to admit what he did. I'm fucking Judi Dench.
I want to knock the dust off that puss like a powdered wig.
Oh, I'm fucking Q. Is she Q or M?
I thought she was M.
She's M.
Q's the inventor.
Ah, yeah.
She's great. She could be. Yeah, could be her.
All of your like go-tos are like hot women over 40.
No.
See what she's doing? So now what do you think of her?
I think she's a piece of shit, and she's in lockstep with it.
I was just like Camille Cosby.
That is a planned rehearse line. You cannot look someone straight in the face and lie like that just off the cuff. Because I think all of the women you're attracted to are hot older women over 40. Like, Yeah, but those weren't the ones he was fucking.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly,
saying.
right.
I'm pretty sure there were some hot women over 40 at some of those comedy shows, and they wouldn't have minded, I don't know, a young tussle with an up-and-comer. Pun. Anyways, but, yeah, I don't, no, he was aiming for a little close to the ground.
See, guys, my wife says I'm into girls over 40. These allegations can't be true. And my wife wouldn't lie. Are you going to call my poor wife, who's been through so much, a liar? Dude, this guy is textbook. I'm not saying he's not good at it, but he's textbook.
I'm hoping she's at least taking, like, the pool guy's dick or something. Just, you know, like, if he's stepping out, she ought to be.
Hey, ready for a fun babyface turn?
Okay.
Like a fun I'm a good guy now turn?
Uh-huh.
Brendan Schaub's deep dicking her. Brendan does a babyface turn and goes, I'm just here to save you from Chris B.
Yeah.
Want to know if you want to get tiger thick, yo.
You know? Because they know some shit that I don't know. You know what I mean? 50, 60, 90.
Like, is this
So uncomfortable.
Because they know some shit that I don't know, like how to convince younger women to pose for me.
Yeah. It's so uncomfortable. Do we have another clip of him in Too Lazy to Try's video? I haven't gotten through the whole thing. Oh, yeah, this is the clip where Callen outs him for making his fans get tattoos. That was one of the accusations, that these girls all have CD tattoos somewhere that he's been trying to make part of his, little sex cult.
Because, if you ever go to court, that can't be held against you as evidence.
Yeah. This is on an episode of Rogan that people are now going back and digging this shit up. Again, Too Lazy to Try deserves a lot more credit. The name is misleading.
It was a plan. I told her to go. I tell people,
Yeah.
I tell people
These
to
girls
go.
get these tattoos for him.
I tell people to go to his show and wear my merch, and they show up all the time, and they wear.
and it looks like Chris is all caught off guard, like, shit, dude, you're not supposed to bring that up. And I know a lot of the people that defend him, they try to make it seem like, the guy's just hooking up with some of his fans. It's like a rock star having sex with groupies. The guy's just having a good time. If it were just that.
Okay, I got news for you. If you found out what those rock stars were doing with those groupies back in the 70s, they'd be canceled. Yeah, you'd be canceled today. It'd be done. All right, what else do we have?
Business.
Yeah, you are.
I have a cult, and it's a cult, and
Chris,
and I am,
you're,
and I
you're
am,
can't
and we
admit
are.
to that.
And
That
we are-
picture looks like a cult
It
leader.
does, doesn't it, dude? I admit I pissed on 14-year-olds brown. That's it. Credits. I admit I had a sex cult. Brown. That's it. By the way, I don't think that's that bad. I'm trying to get one. Now, every time.
Everybody thought he was joking. Ha ha, Chris is being funny.
I don't think that's that bad. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get one.
Allegations that came out in the documentary. Yeah, he was trying to get us all in a house, trying to get us all tattoos, trying to text us at all minutes of the day and telling us to do things. And if we didn't, he'd threaten to kill himself. That's what these girls are alleging in the documentary. I mean, just
Did you never think any of the stuff you did on camera might be, I don't know, brought back to be held against you? Like,
guys like this, people like this who are sick, and Chris D'Elia is a sick guy. We're talking about a sick man here. And I still don't mind shitting on him, even though he's a sick dude.
Brown Candy, what's wrong with sex cults?
He's a sick man in that he says all these things that drop hints. That's part of the fun for him, is he drops the hints. People don't get it.
They take it as a joke and
Yeah.
he moves on. He has a
And he
little
goes-
internal laugh.
And that's him kind of venting. That's him just kind of getting it out. And like, oh, see, there you go. I got to admit that I want a sex cult. Everyone else laughed. I'm not going to get caught. It's hiding in plain sight, basically. Oh, I just seem like a fun, weird, quirky comedian guy. He doesn't think any of this is wrong, by the way. The reason he's coming up with all these excuses and putting the wife on the air and trying to say that he's into 40, 50, 60-year-olds that when he's clearly not. Even if this was all consensual, even if it was all legal, if he didn't break any rules, which I don't believe, he still clearly has a penchant for young women. So saying that you're into the 40s and 50s and stuff like that and having your wife on to say that is you covering your tracks, but you're also putting her on and putting her in harm's way because you don't think you've done anything wrong.
Well, I mean, come on. We all remember when he got caught while he was playing a character who was just a total cougar hunter.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, that's right. He was playing a pedophile.
Yes, he was. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, I thought you were saying pedophile. Yeah,
No.
Right.
He was playing a pedophile in a Netflix show.
Right.
And then this stuff came out and we're like, you were way too good at that character.
Yeah, you know what? I thought you were just talented. I didn't know it was a documentary. But then there's there's the wife thing. But then there's the thing where right after the apology, he never stopped. Again, this guy is just doing what he needs to do to get the heat off him. Notice, We never heard about Chris D'Elia going to rehab before the documentary came out. We never heard about how into 40, 50-year-olds Chris D'Elia was until after the documentary came out. Every time this happens to him, he tries to do something to get the heat off of him so he can keep going. And eventually it's all going to fall down. But the guy doesn't think he's doing anything wrong. So he gets the heat on him. He understands other people think it's fucked up. So he pacifies those people, gets them at an arm's length, and then goes back to business.
I mean, he does realize they're going to have to like address this on like the golden shower hour that he's on with.
I like that you call it the golden shower hour. That's better than calling it the golden hour.
Well,
I like the golden shower.
The golden hour thing is a photography thing, and I know there's another show that actually had that name first, so I'm just like, yeah, we'll call it the golden shower hour.
I think that, yeah, you're saying they're going to have to address this at some point. I don't know why they haven't. Brendan Schaub, look, we may goof on Brendan Schaub, and we may make fun of him. He's not a bad human being.
But he's hanging out with people who are catching a lot of smoke. How long until that wears off on him?
I wonder, and I wonder out loud. I don't know if it's true or not. I know that Theo Von was getting too big for that thick boy crowd and that he needed to leave that show. But I wonder how much of it was him going, dude, you're involving D'Elia in our fucking episodes, and I don't like D'Elia. He's weird. I don't want to be associated with him. He's a creep, so on and so forth. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And if you're Brendan Schaub and you kept D'Elia and you didn't try to keep Theo Von instead, like as hard as you could, you're an insane person. I mean, you're right.
Is there like a friendship thing? Like, we're friends, B.
Yes. And he feels he owes Chris D'Elia, which Chris D'Elia has done more to harm Brendan Schaub's career than help it, ever. I don't know. He probably did a lot of plugging for him early on. That's true. But now being tethered to this albatross is hurting you big time. Big time. So if you're Brendan, you either got to get rid of this guy and you got to be done with this shit on the golden hour, or you deserve to go down too. If you're going to keep defending this guy and you're going to keep bringing him back and you're going to be associated with him, then it's kind of like when Mike vouched for Worm in Rounders.
Yeah, dude, what's with the Griffin guy that sits on that show then too?
He's a funny guy, but somebody told me he got canceled for like some Me Too type stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Brendan Schaub is the meat between a sexual offender sandwich?
Yeah, now people in the chat are telling me Brendan is a horrible person. Just look who he hangs out with, a rapist. No. I get that part. He hangs out with terrible people. Brian Callen's been accused of some nasty shit. Chris D'Elia, in my opinion, has done all the nasty shit.
He definitely looks like he has.
So if you want to say that Brendan, you are the company you keep, then yes, in that case, I will concede to you. Brendan Schaub's a bad guy. But in my heart of hearts, I do believe that Brendan's an idiot. I believe he's stupid.
He's an innocent. He doesn't realize.
You guys could be right. Like those of you who are saying, Aaron, I fucking hate Brendan. He's evil. He's terrible. He's bad. Where you and I part company is I just think the guy's that stupid. And again, I hold out the possibility that I could be wrong on that. But the D'Elia thing, if they don't get the fuck away from him, then they deserve everything they deserve that they get in terms of backlash on this. You can't just say, well, I'm not Chris. I didn't do those things. But you gave him a platform and you gave him a place to, repair his image, quote unquote, at the expense of these girls.
And now if you're Brendan, you're going to have to make another show.
Black Ornament says Brendan is a genuinely bad human being all on his own. Okay. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe Theo Von is the only good guy in that room, and that's why he had to get the fuck out. I could see that being the case. But as far as D'Elia, he's, it just seems to work out magically that every time he's under fire, every time some more bad shit comes out about him, that's when he's a wife man again, and he's a family man, and look at my wife on the show, and oh, did you know I went to rehab, and I just am such a solid guy and a good dude, and I'm just trying my best to make it in this crazy world.
I got to get my numbers up so that way I can try and interview his wife. I really want to do, hey, I really want to have you on. Glad to have you on the show. I wanted to have Chris on, but I have this thing about pedophiles. I don't like to be close to them. I control.
You think she'd back him?
I mean, yeah. I mean, she's not going to sit there and suddenly go, yeah, it's a horrible thing, and I've been going along with it this whole time. Whereas I would just be like,
you know how big your channel would get overnight if you were the guy who somehow broke her and got her to say it?
Yeah, dude, I'm having a fantasy about it right now.
Enjoy your erection. You're not going to be able to walk straight up. It's going to weigh you forward.
Yep.